I never wanted to pay for the whole wedding. I just said I'd help with small things. Maybe the flowers or the cake. But when my son Marcus told his fiancée Lisa that I offered to help, she heard pay for everything. And foolish me, I did it quietly like I always do. It all started when Lisa found this perfect place called Riverside Manor. One of those old barns that looks fancy with twinkle lights everywhere. She showed me pictures on her phone, all excited. I just smiled and nodded. What she didn't know was that I'd owned that place for 15 years. My friend Sarah used to run it as a simple event hall before she got sick. When she passed, her kids sold it to me for almost nothing. I fixed it up, made it beautiful, and rented it out for parties. I never changed the name from what Sarah called it. So when Lisa said it was her dream venue, I didn't say a word. I just called my manager, booked the date, and paid everything up front. I never told her I owned the place. Why make things complicated, right? Let them have their special day. Then came the catering bill. Paid it. The flower deposit. Paid that too. The DJ was my nephew's friend, so I got a good deal, but still covered everything. Every time Lisa sent a bill to Marcus, he just forwarded it to me. And every time I paid without complaining. I wasn't doing it for thank you cards or hugs. I gave up on that long ago. I did it because I wanted my son to be happy. I raised that boy all by myself after his daddy left us. I worked 2 jobs, cleaned offices at night, just so he could have nice clothes and graduate without owing money. If paying for his wedding meant he could have one day without worrying about bills, I thought it was worth every penny. But Lisa never liked me. She never said it out loud, but I could tell. The way she would make faces when I talked too loud. The way she would correct me when I said the wrong words. The way she once told me, "We want something modern, not old-fashioned soul food." I didn't fight back. I just stopped giving my opinions. On the wedding day, I wore a plain brown dress, just like she asked. No bright colors, no sparkles, nothing that would stand out. She texted me 2 weeks before saying, "Please wear something neutral." I looked like a piece of furniture in that dress, but I wore it for Marcus. When I got to Riverside Manor, my own place, I smiled at the young man parking cars. He didn't know who I was, which was exactly how I wanted it. I gave him my keys, took a deep breath, and walked inside. Everything looked beautiful, I'll give Lisa credit. The lights were perfect, the flowers were pretty, and the music was just right. I said hello to a few family members and walked over to find my seat. I looked at the seating chart once, then twice, then 3 times. No Dorothy Williams anywhere. I thought maybe they wrote Mother of the Groom instead, but nope. I checked every single table. My name wasn't there. I walked up to a young server carrying drinks. "Excuse me, honey," I said nicely. "I can't find where I'm supposed to sit." He looked scared. "Oh, they told me you'd be in the back room." My heart sank. "The what?" "The storage room. They said it's been decorated for you." He walked me there, past all the happy guests, through a narrow hallway, and into what used to be Sarah's old storage closet. There were cheap folding chairs, a tiny table with 1 pitcher of water, some store-bought cookies still in the package, and dying flowers in a cracked vase. I stood there staring. The room smelled like cleaning supplies and dust. 1 light bulb was flickering. I sat down slowly. I was completely alone. Through the thin wall, I could hear the DJ announcing the wedding party. I pulled out a tissue and wiped my eyes. I wasn't crying because I was surprised. I was crying because I knew this would happen. I knew from the moment Lisa said she'd handle the guest list herself. From the moment she said, "We don't have many seats, but don't worry, you'll be close by." I knew. I just didn't want to believe my own son would let this happen to me. The music got louder. People were clapping and laughing. I looked around that tiny room, my room in my building, and took a deep breath. They thought I was nobody. They forgot whose name was on the papers. I reached into my purse and pulled out the small gold key I'd carried for 15 years. It shined under that flickering light. I held it tight, smoothed my dress, and sat back down. I wasn't going to ruin their party. Not yet. But when they were done dancing and having fun, they were going to learn exactly who they stuck next to a mop bucket. I stayed in that storage room for over an hour. Someone brought me a bottle of water and some crackers without saying a word. Just set them down and left. I looked at those crackers and laughed to myself. But it wasn't a happy laugh. That's how they treated me. The woman who paid for half their wedding got fed like a stray cat. The music kept playing through the wall. I knew exactly what was happening because I'd been to so many weddings. First the introductions, then the speeches, then the family photos. I'd seen it all before. I sat there listening, waiting. Soon I heard them calling for family pictures. Now let's get the groom's family up here for photos. Nobody came to get me. Then the door opened. My granddaughter Emma walked in looking upset. She's Marcus's daughter from before he met Lisa. She's 22 now, smart as a whip, studying business in college. "Grandma," she said softly, "they're taking pictures. Did you know they didn't call you?" I just looked at her. She frowned. "Lisa said it was about timing, that you'd get your own photo later. But I know that's not true." I reached out and patted her hand. "Don't worry about me, baby. Let them have their pictures." Emma sat down next to me and looked around the tiny room with disgust written all over her face. "This is where they put you. Mom would have gone crazy if anyone did this to Grandma." He nodded. "That's because your mom knew what respect looked like. Lisa thinks she married up, but she's sitting at a table I built." Emma's eyes went to the key in my hand. "What's that for?" Held it up. "The original key to this place." She smiled a little. "You own this building, don't you?" I didn't answer directly. "Smart girls like you always figure out who really runs things." She chuckled, but I could see she was mad too. "You know what hurts most, Emma? It's not that Lisa disrespected me. It's that Marcus let her. My own son. I didn't need to sit at the head table. I didn't need special treatment. But I sure didn't expect to be hidden like some dirty secret." Emma's face got serious. "Are you going to do something about it?" I looked her right in the eyes. "Not yet." She nodded. "Okay." Then she left. Smart girl knew something was coming. I waited and waited. Time went by slowly. I knew the DJ's playlist by heart from working so many events. Around 7 o'clock, I heard the music get quiet and someone tapping a glass. "Ladies and gentlemen, time for the toasts." Right on schedule. I stood up slowly, fixed my dress, and walked toward the main party room. I didn't go inside. I stood by the side door, looking through the glass. There they were. Marcus and Lisa at their fancy table with gold decorations and flowers hanging above them. Lisa looked like a princess. Her mother was laughing too loud and taking pictures. Marcus was smiling and drinking wine. They didn't look around for me. Not even once. Some cousin I barely knew stood up and gave a speech about love and family. Everyone clapped. The DJ played a slow song, and Marcus and Lisa started their first dance. That's when I pulled out my phone and called Mr. Johnson, the man who helps me with business stuff. "It's Dorothy," I said calmly. "Go ahead and finish the sale." "You sure about this?" "Right now." "They're dancing." He didn't ask any more questions. We'd been planning this for months. All the papers were ready, the buyer was waiting. I only agreed to wait until after the wedding to be nice. But being nice ended when they stuck me in that storage closet. "It'll be done in an hour," he said. "I'll text you when it's official." I hung up and put my phone away. I didn't feel angry anymore. I didn't even feel sad. I felt clear. Let them dance. Let them make toasts and take selfies and pretend this would last forever. Let them enjoy every second of their fancy party. Because when the lights came back on, they were going to learn the hard way that I wasn't just a guest at their party. They were guests at mine, and I had the papers to prove it. The next hour felt like waiting for a bomb to go off. I stood in the corner of the party room, invisible to everyone who didn't know where to look. The music played, couples danced, people laughed with their expensive drinks, and champagne glasses clinked like tiny bells. I kept my purse close, holding onto it like it was my lifeline. But I wasn't angry anymore. That feeling left me the second I made that phone call. Now I felt cold and steady, like I just stepped out of fire into ice water. Everything seemed to move in slow motion. The fancy lights looked like fake stars. The rented flowers looked plastic. The whole thing felt like a movie I was watching instead of living. I moved quietly along the edge of the room. Nobody noticed me. They weren't looking for me anyway. Why would they? I wasn't in any photos. My name wasn't in the program. And apparently, I wasn't even supposed to sit where normal people could see me. But I wasn't there for their approval. I was there for perfect timing. Around 8:30 I saw him. Victor, the man I hired to manage the venue years ago. He was standing by the back hallway with a clipboard, looking around like he was waiting for a signal. I gave him a small nod. He blinked once, tucked his clipboard under his arm, and walked away. That was the cue. I went outside where the air was finally getting cooler. Crickets were singing in the trees, and you could smell summer trying to hang on. I sat at one of the empty tables far from the dance floor and waited. It didn't take long. Inside, the DJ made an announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? We're moving to cake cutting." I sipped my water slowly, feeling excitement spread through my chest. Then the confused voices started. Just a few at first. Someone trying a door that wouldn't open. A guest asking a server, "Why is the bar closing? Why are the bathrooms locked?" I saw Lisa through the window. Her smile dropped. She stood up and walked toward Victor, who had come back by the side doors. "I need to talk to you," she said, trying to sound calm, but you could hear the worry in her voice. Victor smiled politely and stepped outside with her, right where I could see and hear everything. "I'm sorry, ma'am," he said with his hands folded behind his back. "There's been a property transfer. Legal ownership changed 15 minutes ago. We're closing the event according to Section 14B of the rental agreement." I almost smiled watching her face fall apart. "What are you talking about?" she snapped. Victor didn't even blink. Section 14B allows immediate closure if the property gets sold. Since the original owner sold the venue tonight, we have to close. Who? Who sold it? Victor turned and pointed right at me. She did. Lisa spun around and our eyes met. I stayed sitting, one leg crossed over the other, calm as a still pond. Marcus came running out behind her, looking confused. "What's going on?" Lisa almost screamed. "Your mother just sold the venue." He looked at me like I'd grown two heads. "Mom." I set my water glass down, stood up slowly, and fixed my purse strap. "You put me in a storage closet," I said calmly, "next to a mop bucket in the building I've owned since 2008. The silence hit like a slap across the face. Lisa's mother came rushing out, already calling someone on her phone. Victor calmly told her that security would make everyone leave if they didn't go peacefully. He handed her a printed paper, signed and stamped and legal. People started pouring out the doors, talking loud and confused. Some were already filming with their phones. "I told you I paid for the venue," I said loud enough for everyone to hear. "I just never said I owned it." Marcus opened his mouth but no words came out. Emma was standing in the back with her arms crossed, looking at me like I was the missing piece of a puzzle. The DJ's music cut off in the middle of a song. Bartenders started packing up their stuff. Someone's kid started crying. Lisa turned back to me with her whole body shaking. "You ruined our wedding." I gave her the smallest smile I could manage. "No," I said softly. "You ruined the invitation. The wedding was just the bill." And I walked right past her, down the path I'd paid for, in the shoes they told me not to wear, across stones I'd picked out myself, out of a building they tried to erase me from. I didn't look back. Didn't need to. They were standing in a dream they never owned, and I just took the walls down. I walked down that stone path like it was made just for me. I could hear my heels clicking, slow and steady. Behind me, voices were getting louder. Lisa yelling, Marcus stuttering, chairs scraping, someone banging on a locked bathroom door. I didn't turn around. The warm night air pressed against my skin, but I felt light. Lighter than I'd felt in years. Like I just dropped the weight of being invisible and ignored and tolerated. All those years of keeping quiet at dinner tables I bought. All those Sunday sermons about being humble while people wrote me out of my own story. Gone just like their access to that party hall. When I reached the end of the path, Victor caught up to me. He was breathing hard and holding keys and a folder. "It's done," he said. "Buyer signed everything online. Money cleared. Title company will call you next week." "Good," I said. I took the folder and slipped it into my purse like it was a grocery receipt. He hesitated. "Are you okay, Mrs. Williams?" I looked at him. A man who'd worked for me for 10 years. Who watched me clean windows and count pennies when money was tight. A man who never once treated me like anything less than the boss, even when guests thought otherwise. "I'm more than okay," I told him. "I'm free." I watched him walk back toward the building. Inside, the DJ had gone completely quiet. People were leaving like ants from a kicked hill, confused and overdressed, holding their shoes in one hand and their dignity in the other. I sat on one of the wooden benches near the flower garden. The summer air buzzed with crickets, and somewhere in the distance, someone was yelling about getting their money back. Emma showed up a few minutes later, calm and cool, holding 2 pieces of cake on paper plates. "Figured you didn't get any," she said, handing me one. "I didn't," I said. "But I got the building." We both laughed, quiet and sharp. She sat down next to me and looked toward the crowd gathering at the front. Some guests were calling for rides. Others were standing around looking lost with plastic cups of flat champagne. "Everyone's saying this is going to be huge online," Emma said. "Someone already posted a video of Lisa screaming. The caption says, 'Bride gets kicked out by landlord who's also the groom's mom.'" I took a bite of cake. It was too sweet with fake vanilla flavoring that tried too hard to taste expensive. "I hope they got my good side," I said. "This angle of the property looks better in photos." Emma grinned. "You're terrible." "No," I corrected. "I'm observant and tired." We sat quietly for a while. Then I asked the question that had been eating at me since Marcus said, "She's just different, Mom. You need to get used to how she does things." "Do you think he really didn't know what she was doing?" Emma shrugged, picking at her cake. "He knew, but he let her make all the decisions. He wanted peace more than he wanted respect for you." That hit me like cold water, even though I knew it was true. "That's what hurts most," I said. "Not that she tried me, but that he let her." "You taught him to be kind," Emma said. "But Lisa taught him to be quiet." That sat heavy between us. By now, the parking lot was half empty. Guests were walking around in confused circles, trying to figure out if the party was really over. A few were still holding on to the flower decorations like they might be gifts. The workers were rolling carts out one by one, smooth and professional. I saw Marcus standing alone by the fountain with his jacket off and his shirt unbuttoned. He looked like a man who'd been put in a washing machine and hung out to dry in the wrong neighborhood. He saw me but didn't come over, just stood there staring. I didn't wave. You don't wave at someone who watched you get shoved into a closet and said nothing. A few minutes later, Lisa marched out with her shoes in her hand and her makeup running down her face. She yelled at one of the workers, then kicked over a flower arrangement. The bouquet scattered across the sidewalk like it knew it had been serving the wrong queen. Victor appeared again, cool as ice. "I asked security to clear everyone out in 15 minutes, he said. "New owner doesn't want people filming late at night." He nodded. "That's smart." Emma checked her phone. The video just hit 1 million views. One of the top comments says, "That's not a mother-in-law. That's a boss." I laughed harder than I expected to. The sound echoed off the empty courtyard, raw and real. "You know what's funny?" I said, finishing my cake. "I thought I'd feel guilty or maybe sorry, but I don't. I feel like I just took back my own name." Emma stood up and reached out her hand. "Come on, Grandma. Let's go home. This wedding is over." I took her hand, stood up tall, and walked down that path one last time. Not as a guest, not as the groom's mother, not as someone who was supposed to blend into the background. I walked as the woman who built what they danced on and made sure they'd never forget whose name was really on the deed. The next morning was peaceful. No phone calls, no apologies, no messages from my son. Just the soft hum of my fan and the smell of the lavender spray I use on my sheets every night. You'd think after what happened, my phone would be ringing off the hook. But silence. Silence is what people use when they think they can wait out your dignity. I made myself some coffee and sat by the window. Sunlight cut across my living room in clean golden lines. Outside, neighborhood kids were already riding bikes like nothing had changed in the world. But something had changed. Something in me. I had been buried under politeness for so long that I forgot what it felt like to stand up straight without apologizing. For years, I thought being quiet was the same as being wise. But being quiet never stopped people from writing you out of your own story. It just made it easier for them to pretend you weren't there to begin with. I sipped my coffee and opened my tablet. The first thing I saw was a screenshot of Lisa mid-scream, her mouth wide open, her arms flailing like a broken puppet. The caption read, "Bride evicted by groom's mom during reception," and it was completely legal. 5 million views and climbing. I clicked on the comments. Most were strangers laughing or gasping. Some were trying to guess where it happened. Few were calling me savage. Others said it was queen behavior. But the ones that hit my heart hardest were from women my age. One said, "They think we won't do it, but they forget we already survived worse." Another said, "She did what every grandmother wanted to do, but never had the paperwork." I didn't reply to any of them, just saved the page and closed the app. Around noon there was a knock at my door. It was Marcus. He looked terrible. Suit wrinkled, tie gone, eyes red from no sleep. My boy, my grown-up baby boy, still handsome, still soft in the face when he was nervous. He didn't bring Lisa with him. "Can I come in?" he asked. I stepped aside and pointed to the couch. He sat down like his legs didn't trust the floor. For several minutes, neither of us said anything. He looked at the framed photo of him on my shelf. 8 years old, missing his front tooth, smiling like he'd just won the lottery. "I didn't know they put you in the storage room," he said. I raised my eyebrow. "I swear I didn't," he said again. "I thought you were at table 4 with Aunt Vera and Uncle Charles." "That's what the chart said." I said nothing. "I didn't check when I got there," he admitted. "Lisa handled all the details." "You saw me after the ceremony," I said. "Did you come check on me?" His face fell. "No. You saw me when they took photos. Did you ask where I was?" He swallowed hard. "No. And during the toasts, when every other elder stood up and clapped, did you look for me?" He looked down at his hands. "No, Mom." I leaned forward. "That's what hurts, Marcus. Not Lisa. Not the chair in the closet. You didn't look for me. You didn't defend me. You didn't even notice I was gone." He opened his mouth, then closed it. "That venue," I continued. "The one you and your wife acted like I just booked as a favor. I bought that land with my first retirement check. I laid the floors. I fought for the permits. I scrubbed that kitchen with bleach and my own tears. And the night you married that woman, you let her erase me." He started to cry. Not sobbing, just quiet tears like something finally broke and he couldn't fix it fast enough. "I was trying to keep everyone happy," he said. "There is no happiness without respect," I said. "You kept her comfortable and lost my trust." He nodded slowly, wiping his eyes. "I'm sorry, Mom." I stood up and walked to my cabinet, pulled out a small folder and handed it to him. Inside were copies of every single receipt I'd paid for his wedding. Venue, food, flowers, decorations, all in my name. "I don't need you to pay me back," I said. "But I want the truth to be clear." He flipped through the papers with shaking hands. "You raised me better than this," he whispered. "I did," I replied. Then I took out another envelope, this one thicker, and handed it to him. He opened it slowly. His eyes read the first page, then got wide. "You're taking me out of your will," he said. "I'm not removing you," I said carefully. "I'm changing things." You'll still get part of my savings, but the house, the property, the business money. He looked up at me. They're going to Emma, I said. She saw me. She sat with me. She didn't flinch when I showed her the key. He nodded slowly, his face unreadable. I understand. I sat back down. Do you really? He didn't answer. We sat in silence again. This time I didn't break it. After a while he stood up. Can I still visit? He asked. This is your home, I said. But don't expect to be the same man when you leave. He gave me a small, sad smile. I'm already not. Then he left. I stood at the window and watched him walk to his car. Here's the thing about revenge. People think it's loud and dramatic and explosive. But the best revenge is quiet. It happens on paper, in wills, in signatures, in the way people start saying your name again, but now with respect. It's the change in tone when they realize the person they dismissed actually owns the ground they're standing on. And once that change happens, you don't have to say another word. 1 month passed. Nobody dared say my name carelessly anymore. The same aunties who used to whisper, "She always thinks she knows everything," were suddenly calling me Miss Williams with full respect in their voices. Church people who used to walk past me on Sundays made sure to stop by my seat to say good morning. I didn't need their approval, but I saw what they were doing, and I let them. The clip of the wedding eviction had passed 15 million views. 15 million. Someone added dramatic music to it and turned it into an internet meme. Another person edited it into a fake movie trailer called The Grandmother's Revenge. It was all over social media. Even the local radio station talked about it during their morning show. They didn't say my name, but they called me that grandma who handled business without raising her voice. That was fine by me. The venue sale had gone perfectly. The new owner was a lovely woman from Atlanta who wanted to turn it into a yoga retreat center. She called me twice just to thank me for keeping the place so beautiful. I wished her all the best and meant every word. As for Marcus and Lisa, well, let's just say not everything survives the honeymoon phase. I didn't hear much from them after that visit. I didn't ask around either. Marcus sent me a card on my birthday. No gift. Just his name written under a printed message that said, "With love." Kept it. Not because it meant anything special, but because I wanted to remember. Some things you forgive. Others you simply remember forever. But Emma, my sweet Emma, came over every Sunday after church. She'd bring groceries, help me with yard work, and organize my old photo albums. She'd sit with me on the porch while I drank sweet tea and reminded me that my story wasn't over just because I got quiet again. One afternoon, she pulled out her laptop and said, "Grandma, I've been working on something special." I raised my eyebrow. "Oh, really?" She turned the screen toward me. It was a plan for a nonprofit organization, complete with a logo and everything. "The Dorothy Williams Foundation for Forgotten Mothers," she read. "Too many women get erased from their own families. We can't fix them all, but we can make sure their stories don't get lost." I blinked hard and swallowed. "You really think people would support something like that?" "Yes." "Grandma," she said, "you broke the internet for doing what half the world only dreams of. And you didn't just throw a tantrum. You used legal paperwork. You turned silence into power." I shook my head, laughing through tears. She opened her notebook. "We can start small. Maybe monthly support meetings. Later we can build legal help, inheritance workshops, housing assistance." I leaned back in my chair, looked up at the ceiling like I was asking God for permission, and then I nodded. "All right," I said. "Let's do it." We filed the paperwork 2 weeks later. I donated part of the money from the wedding. Yes, Lisa's parents finally sent me a check after the venue story went viral, and their family started losing business contacts. It didn't cover everything, but it paid for our website, some flyers, and the first month of rent for meeting space downtown. Our first meeting had 7 women. The next had 20. By the 3rd month we had over 80. Each woman came with her own story. Some quiet, some tearful, some angry enough to shake the building. One woman said her son's wife told her not to wear perfume because it gave her headaches. Another said she wasn't invited to her grandchild's birth because she wasn't tech-savvy enough to be in the family group chat. I didn't give advice, just listened. And when they finished talking, I handed them a copy of their own rights as mothers, homeowners, grandmothers, and human beings. I told them what I learned. That silence is not respect. That being humble doesn't mean being invisible. That you can be kind and still own the ground under someone's feet. And when they looked at me, they didn't see someone too loud or too old or too set in her ways. They saw a woman who had been pushed into a storage closet and came out with a deed to the whole building. Now, every time I walk into a room, I don't worry about whether there's a seat at the table for me. I know I built the table from wood they ignored, with blueprints they never asked to see, using tools they said I didn't know how to use. Let them say what they want. Let them dance where they please. Because when the music stops and the bills come due and the lights start flickering, they'll remember one important thing. It was never their house. It was always mine. And that's a lesson that lasts forever. Then.